I produce meaningful art and imagery about life and mental health. And I brought a few examples of my work along today. So they're often using sort of old objects and a slight twist, sometimes with a bit of humour. That one's an old lozenge tin saying you have a voice. I've got one of my therapy cards here, which is laxative pastels saying letting go. There's a slightly ruder version of that one as well, but I haven't brought that one with me. So I produce this, so I do it really. I produce this work. I've been producing it sort of for quite a few years, and through a coincidence I was approached by the King's Fund, and I put some work into Manchester Hospital 4 years ago. And that gave me a real buzz, and so from that, a couple of years ago, I was approached and went into Reading Hospital, and my work is now in about half a dozen spaces within the hospital. It started off in waiting rooms for patients, but it's also now gone into some of the staff rooms, which I'm really excited about because they sort of can get neglected too. And they help to choose the work that's most appropriate for those spaces. In addition, I also do work with businesses, putting artwork into companies to address obviously staff and mental health and life messages. And the work I do with businesses helps to support the work, therefore, that I can then put into community spaces. So on the 15th of January, for 5 weeks, I had an art exhibition. Some of the pieces are here today at the Wokingham Council at Shoot End. Included in that, we had a comments book as well. And the question we asked was, how do you think art can improve mental health in community spaces such as hospital waiting rooms? And there's a little A5 double-sided piece of paper with some of the comments that we got back. We had some great comments, and I think also the staff there actually appreciated having some work themselves, because the messages don't just apply obviously to people in hospital situations, they apply to all of us. And this is just one of the quotes. With an increasing screen-based tech society, having beautiful things to look at is a pleasure, an escape and a joy. Waiting rooms would be enhanced if there was less organisational posters and leaflets and more thought-provoking art. They then said fabulous, so obviously that's why I read that one out. But there seems to be an increasing, the feedback I'm getting from hospitals and places, there's, as we know, with mental health issues, etc., there's an increasing demand to sort of, I think, have these sorts of messages out there. And I think what we all need to do, NHS and everybody, is I think we need to think about our spaces and who is in those spaces, who is visiting those spaces, and I think how can we make them more interesting spaces, a better experience for people, and to show that we empathise with their situation.